Hey Brickheads! Scott with 36 Bricks here, and we are taking a look at the 15th anniversary Modular Building Collection Boutique Hotel. This thing is awesome. Set number 10297, 3066 pieces. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so here we have it. This is an amazing build. Like, I will be honest, at first I wasn't a big fan of the peachish color, but now that I see the build in person, get my hands on it, it is awesome. It comes with 7 minifigures, a nice little coffee build, a trolley build, the boutique is over here, and of course the hotel itself. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigures first. Alright guys, so here you have the first minifigure. Now the face is pretty generic, to be honest. Nothing that we haven't seen before, same with the hair, but the torso is just amazing. I really like what they did with it. You've got really good detail as far as for showcasing somewhat of an undershirt there, the buttons, and a nice silver gloss or metallic, and it is awesome. So we're coming around here to the back. I'm going to lift up the hair. No secondary facial expression, which I am a little disappointed about, but nevertheless, we do have some nice pleating in the back, and this minifigure actually looks really good as is. I'm super excited to have it for my, not just my city, but for the hotel itself. Really good stuff. Second minifigure in the set is this bad boy right here. Now, the face, I don't believe that we've seen this face before. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. This has a nice open mouth smile with a mustache and then some facial creasing to showcase the smiling. I mean, I really like it. It looks different. I don't know that, again, we've seen this all that much. Hair is something that we obviously haven't seen before, and then, of course, the torso is the exact same with him as with her. Lifting up the hair to see, nope, no secondary facial expression. Again, I feel like that is a misstep on Lego's part. They could have easily added that in, but that is just, you know, that's my opinion. Alright guys, looking at the third minifigure, again, I don't know that this is anything that we haven't seen before. I'm pretty confident that we've seen this torso before, as well as the face and the hair. With that said, it is still a great, they are still great torsos and faces. It's just, I was hoping that they were going to do a little bit different with the other minifigures. Let me know if I'm wrong. Have we seen this torso before? Have we not? Let me know in the comments below. We have definitely seen this hair. Now she has a nice umbrella here, which is just a simple build. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to also take off the hair so we can see the face a little bit more. Again, I love the expression and the fact that she's wearing sunglasses, but like I said, I feel like we have seen this before, so it's not anything new. Coming around to the back, she does have a secondary facial feature, so it is rather confusing as to why they chose her to have a secondary facial feature and not the two bellhops. and not the two bellhops. So I'm not really sure as far as why they decided to go that way, but nevertheless, it is a great minifigure, great face. It looks great. It's just, like I said, I was just hoping for something a little bit more. All right, guys, so this gentleman right here, we have, of course, seen him. I believe we've seen him a few times, but nevertheless, again, still great minifigure. I'm going to pop his hat off. Great, you know, goatee with sideburns and the mustache and beard. Really love that. It really goes well with the minifigure and the overall look. The torso here is amazing. It's got a nice white, blue and black in it. Nice striped blue and black tie. Really like that aspect of it. Coming around to the back, of course, there's not going to be a secondary face just because he is wearing a hat. So if he did have a secondary face, that would look like, you know, Harry Potter 1. But nevertheless, there is a little bit of pleating or printing on the back to showcase the pleating of the vest. Do like the fact that we get, it is more of a vest instead of like a jacket or something, to showcase for the white, you know, shirted arms. So that looks cool. Overall, great little build. He does come with a nice little briefcase. Inside the briefcase is a printed tile. It is like a keypad printed tile, which is cool. Won't showcase that because it's something that we've, of course, seen in the past. But again, great minifigure. Again, I wish we would have gotten some, you know, different stuff. For the fifth minifigure here, of course, we have a photographer of sorts, or a traveler. I will bring it down here. We've seen cameras before. I am excited, as I am a photographer, so it makes sense. The legs and torso, we have seen a plethora of times, and believe those were actually on the Build-A-Fig wall for a spell. They might even be still available at my local store. I wish they had done some other kind of color, you know, made it unique for the torso and the pants. So I'm really, really disappointed so far in the minifigure selection in this, as we're not really seeing anything unique. She does come with a nice little backpack, which is awesome. I love that. It's not something that we have not seen before, but again, I always love getting those accessories. The hair is something new that we haven't, that we have seen recently, so it is newer for last year and this year, 2021 and 2022. However, it's not new in general. So again, that's not something that we haven't seen before. I'm going to go ahead and pop off the back, see if we get a secondary look, and we do, of course. And I really like that expression. It's a little hard to see, but her eyes are closed and she is pleased. So I really, really like that. And again, it's kind of confusing that the first two minifigures didn't have facial expressions on both sides, but you know what? That's on them. Ultimately, great minifigure. She's got little freckles on her face and all that kind of fun stuff. I really like it. Like I said, I just wish we would have gotten something a little bit more new. All right, now we have Mrs. Brixie. That's right, I call this one Mrs. Brixie. This is not to make fun of Brixie or Mrs. Brixie by any means. I just feel that this is a perfect spot-on representation of Mrs. Brixie. So I call her Mrs. Brixie. Nothing new on the legs. Definitely something that we've seen a plethora of times. The torso, to be honest, I don't know if this is not, if this is new. I mean, it looks familiar, but I don't know that we've necessarily seen it other than in this set. But I do like the fact that the belt is popped out. You have the fact that it showcases that she's tucking in her shirt. You have a nice little, what appears to be like a heart necklace, which is amazing. Facial expression is spot on. I love every inch of that. That is amazing. I love the glasses. I love the lipstick. She's got a little mole right there. Nice little facial expression with the eyebrows, all that. We're going to go right to the back. We got some pleating in the back for the shirt, which is nice, or blouse, and then pop it up, and no, wah, wah, wah. No facial expression on the back, which is very disappointing. So, again, not exactly sure why they're picking some to have, especially when it's hidden like that. They could easily have another one there. But nevertheless, as is, really love the minifigure, really love the look and style of it. Awesome stuff. Last but certainly not least, the coffee cart attendant. Again, I'm really disappointed in this one, to be honest. We have seen so many times this minifigure, it's not even funny. Now, I will be honest in saying I don't know that we've seen this face. It's a little hard to see, but great facial expression. He's actually got some stubble around his face there, which I really like. It gives it a little bit of texture. I'm going to angle this up, but you see that he's got a little stubble right along the chin line and all of that. He's got some creases for when he's smiling. So definitely love the fact that they're upping their game on the details. So again, I don't know necessarily that we have seen this particular face, but I have seen a plethora of times the legs and the feet. I do respect the fact that the legs have printing on him, so we got more than just basic legs. We get the apron and all that kind of fun stuff. The detail on the coffee cup is amazing. You got a nice little smiley face plus steam coming out. He's got a nice badge, and then we've got a white shirt buttoned up all the way to the all the way to the top, and you actually do see like a little bit of his neck there, which is awesome. I actually really do like and respect the fact that they're adding those details. Coming around to the back, we have some patterns around here. We have the apron showing that it's tied. I do feel that it's a little bit of a misstep that you don't see the apron ties down here at all, but I do like the overall look. Popping off the hair, do we get another? No. Wah, wah, wah. Not exactly sure, again, why they don't put another facial expression, but whatever. All in all, great minifigure. I really like what they're doing with these. I just wish we would have gotten something a little bit different. Before I get into the hotel itself, I'm going to go ahead and reference the two mini builds. So we have a coffee cart here. I actually really like what they did with this coffee cart. I wish, to be honest, there was different coloring, as we tend to get the same coloring on the coffee cart. So it would have been nice to get, even red cups and make this yellow, or, and make these red, or have these clear cups or the pink cups or different color cups altogether. And then again, the detail up here, I just wish they would have gone a little bit different. However, overall, the build itself is actually really nice. I really do like the build. I think they did a really good job with it. The only other critique that I would have is I wish there was some kind of, maybe a cash register here of some kind, or a way to take money, and then over here maybe a snack or two. I'm not sure, something along those lines, but nevertheless, it is a great build. Coming over to the trolley, or the Bellhop Cart, not sure what to actually call it. I guess it's different per different country and all that kind of fun stuff. Overall, I really like this. It totally makes sense. And there's a couple different ways, obviously, that you can actually put this together. You could, of course, do it like this. You could pop this out and have it more flat. You could easily have it this way, to where it's either sectioned off this way if you wanted differentiating parts there, or you can have it this way, for a nice little cove there. Pretty much up to you, but the instructions do have it this way, which I do like. Either way. Since I have multiple of this set, I will probably do it a bunch of different ways to show diversity. I do like the build overall. I think how they did it and the way they did it was actually rather neat. And it just because of the textures and the overall look, I think they did wonders for it. I really do. Moving on to the hotel itself, I'm going to go ahead and start with this section over here. I really like the overall look and feel of the entire build as a whole. I love the fact that it is a corner build, but with the texture, it pops out and it feels, the architecture itself looks really cool. As far as if you're looking at it on the West Coast, it kind of gives a old school Rodeo Drive kind of feel. So I really like that. It is rather interesting that they have two flags on this side, but there's no other flags like on this side or anything like that. I think they could have easily put two flags here just to round it out a little bit. As far as in the build itself does have the lines here instead of the masonry brick side. I think that was a misstep. I went ahead and switched that. That is, of course, my personal preference, and that is because, obviously, masonry brick is my favorite part ever. So that is why I chose to reverse it and showcase the actual masonry bricks. If you're going to have that level of detail, why hide it? So that part I don't quite understand. Coming over here, we get a nice light lamp. Again, I'm not exactly sure why they choose the coloring of the light lamp, because in the accessories, the extra accessories packs, I believe they're black versus this is white. So I feel like there's no cohesion with other stuff. But all in all, the actual light post being in white works great. I love it. The overall particular flower planters, I don't know. It looks cheesy. They look out of place. They for me, for whatever reason, and I'm gonna zoom in on that. But for whatever reason, I just don't feel like they fit with the build. It just, something about it just doesn't look right. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep those and do something else. But overall, great build. Since I zoomed in, you can kind of see the fact that I changed the masonry bricks and all of that. I really do like the fact that they did the arches with the gold. I think that adds a little bit of texture and feel. Coming around here, we do have a nice printed tile for the hotel. I like the designs of the curls that they did here. I really love the fact that, again, we get a corner build out of this, but it's a expanded corner build where we have a nice little build over here as well. Coming over to this side, we have a nice printed piece here with references to all of the other modulars, which I really like. So to kind of showcase this a little bit, I'm going to pop this off. Up here we have a reference to a chef, which is probably the Parisian restaurant, and or the downtown diner. You have a nice little apple for possibly Market Street or the greengrocer. You have references to Ace, which is typically a detective agency. So that's the detective build. You have a nice cup of coffee here, which references, obviously, the cafe corner. The painting up here references the pet store. If you remember in the townhouse of the pet store, there is a painter in there, so that's cool. You have a pair of scissors, which is the haircut for the detective's office. You have boxing lessons for downtown diner. You have a music store or Andy Sachs, which references like music lessons, which references the Assembly Square, and then you have the live music hall. That could reference the theater or the Palace Cinema easily, but I'm not exactly sure on that one. You have nice little yellow tiles here, for ticket information or whatever, and I really like the fact that they put it right outside for everybody to see, so that's pretty cool. Coming over here, we have the Fine Art El Cubo. Coming over here, we have a nice little art gallery, El Cubo, which is pretty cool. On the upstairs level, I'm going to go ahead and pop this off to show you. We have a nice little lounge area. I feel like this is a really good thing that they added, but in some aspects it's also lacking as well. So, love the tree. I feel like the leaves that they used or decided on works well with the palm tree. However, they are really big. I wish those were a little bit smaller, to be honest. They are oddly shaped around it, but it works. It makes sense. So coming in here, there seem to be two cocktail tables right up here, so you can grab a couple drinks. Those are cool. I love the design of the patterns here to showcase the linens for the table, so I really like that. We get some glasses here with a bottle, and then this is snug up against the building. I wish there was a little bit more to this, but I do understand that they are limited on space. Back here, it is a little hard to see. You have a nice little section here with a window. I honestly feel like that should be kind of like a water feature of some kind. I wish they would have gone that route, but they do have a nice little water feature on this side, so I get it. But I wish that this may have or could have been there instead, and then this could have been, you know, something else. But I really like overall. You got some, of course, nice iron rods, you know, looking pieces here to round out the build. Some leaves. Not exactly sure why they have the leaves here. Because they don't match. They do match this over here, so is it kind of representing ivy that comes through? Let me know in the comments below what you think. I also love these lights and how they did the lights. Totally makes sense, and the only critique that I would have would be I wish there was one over here just to finish out the build. But overall, it is a great looking little set. Or top garden, cocktail lounge, if you will. So, coming around to the back, we have really just not much, to be honest. So we do have this dumpster here, which is awesome. I love the technique and how they raised it up. I think that is definitely awesome. They, of course, have a white or old, bread part, which is cool, and it fits right in there. I honestly think that this could be reversed, and then you could add like a tile here or there to finish off the studs. But ultimately, it is a great build. Do like the design of it. Then we have a random box here. I can only assume that it's like a minifigures way to, get in there, maybe. I'm not sure. It's kind of a sad attempt at an alleyway. There's really not much to it. And unfortunately, if these are up against walls, which is how they typically are, there's no way to get back here. There's no door, going from the back of the building to the dumpster. Maybe they just open up these windows and toss it out, and hopefully they, don't miss. Not exactly sure, what the mindset was. There is definitely room to put a door here, so they could easily do that, but nevertheless, they didn't. So pretty plain. This is, of course, goes up against another building, so that is, understandable. Going up to the second floor, they use handcuffs for the railing and black skeleton feet for the railing as well, which I really like. We mentioned the flags. This section here is my favorite. They have rounded windows, which is awesome. That is a new part to me. And I say that because I have seen, you know, after getting this set, I have seen these parts in other, you know, in other avenues. So that is different for me. But I really like what they did here. I thought it was awesome that they did that, and a lot of fun. So that is exciting. Coming around, I love the details in these, you know, pillars. I think there could have been, or is, a easier way of doing that. They do have pillar pieces, but I love the fact that they went different with it. I really do. The other thing I do want to showcase is that I went ahead and switched these out. So they put in this piece, or they used a 1x1 with the hole in the middle for this piece right here and this piece right here. I don't have a lot of those, but I do have a lot of these because they were on my pab wall, and I went ahead and switched them out. So if you are struggling to get these parts, which sometimes happens, you have plenty of these from a pab wall, you could easily switch those out, and it doesn't really make a difference on the build. I kind of feel like, because maybe of budgeting, maybe this part is cheaper than this part because that speck of plastic that isn't there for that part. Now, I did not switch out this part, but I did switch out this part. This part, when I switched it out, it didn't clutch properly, so I left this part here as the 1x1 with the hole in the middle, and then replaced this part, which gave me about 20 extra parts here per build. I do have multiple of this build, so I am excited about that, as I will have plenty of these going in the future. Coming around this section here, a couple of the aspects that I didn't mention is there is a nice little pattern here on the walkway, which is also always a good. I really like that. I really love what they did here with the railing. They used a crowbar. You do have to be careful because if you turn it too much, it will easily pop off, but nevertheless, I really do like it. In the wrought iron this way, they use the flexi part here and the rods going up this way, which is also great. And then you have the handcuffs. All right, guys, last but certainly not least, on the top floor here, I really do love the way that they did these pieces. It is definitely reminiscent of the town hall, like the little essence of the leaves and all that kind of fun stuff. Coming around here, you have more of the greebling to make it really nice. And then, of course, this beautiful, well-done dome up here. I really love the technique of doing it, how they did it this time around versus like the other builds that they've done. Very easy to do, and you know, nice technique. This section goes all the way around, which is awesome. You get plenty of opportunity. I kind of do wish that they would have sealed these off, but it does, or tiled over these, but it does give a nice look. Coming up here, I'm going to go ahead and showcase the roof here. How they did the roof outline is amazing. I love the fact that they took snake heads in black and they angled them in a way to where it was very nice detail on the roof lining. I'm going to angle this up this way just a little bit. You have pieces here that not only connect the roof, because it is an oddly shaped roof, but it also adds texture and feel as if they might be, you know, air conditioning units or something along those lines. And then we have the open skylight here as well. I really like how they did the open skylight. Very easy to do. Obviously very easily comes off. I wish that they were bigger, to be honest, or one big piece, just so that you don't have those creases and lines when you're looking down. But nevertheless, I really do like everything. As I mentioned before, when I first saw this set, that peachish color really did bug me. But now that I have the build and I have it right here, it doesn't actually bug me all that much. All right, guys, so starting off with the interior, you have a really good boutique here. I feel like it's very smashed, to be honest. So you have a nice little art wall here, which is very cool. You have this art piece. It's kind of like a, Van Gogh of sorts, that is right here in the front. The sculpture here is a replica of the Expert Modular emblem, which is awesome. Kind of references the fact that these are Expert Modulars, even though they're now called the Modular Building Collection. Coming around here, you have a nice little art piece as well. And then you have a nice sculpture on the interior of this. I really like the fact that they use that as interior space. It doesn't leave anything... it doesn't leave anything out, and it's not wasted space. So I really like that. Moving to the interior of the hotel itself, I find that although it looks awesome, I do feel that it's a little lacking. We do have a nice vase with flowers and the check-in desk. I love the printed pieces here. As you guys can see here, we have 4 keys to the upstairs. Originally, I actually thought that there was only 2 rooms, but in looking at it further, there are actually 3 rooms to the building. However, it is still interesting that there are 4 keys to 3 rooms. So, that's just my opinion. Over here, this space, I feel honestly, is very wasted. It's empty, it's dead. Not really exactly sure what they're planning on doing or what their mindset with that area is. I have seen some people mod it out to this section being a nice little snack shop or, convenience store of some kind. You got a nice little painting here. And then coming around this side, you have a nice little couch. The pattern, I love the fact that they tile the entire floor. It looks really nice, and we get a nice little pattern here. So I really like that and what they did with that. The stairs are exceptionally small. They are only 3 studs instead of the typical 4 studs. They are technically 4 studs if you include the railing, but because the railing takes up 1 stud, it's not a whole lot of space. So the other thing that I have an issue with is, of course, 1, there's no back door to get to the dumpster, and 2, there is no elevator. Typically with hotels, there are an elevator, and if this dolly is trying to go up the stairs, that's not going to happen. This dolly barely fits on the stairs as is, let alone trying to get those up. Matt from Brix popped up and said that it is funny because basically they would come out to the car, load it up, bring it in here, and then guests have to load and bring their stuff up themselves. There is, of course, plenty of room in here and open space for an elevator, so I do feel like that is a misstep. They could have easily had that as an elevator, but I do get the fact that they wanted stairs. They could have easily done a facade of some kind, but nevertheless, it is what it is. So, again, rather disappointing on that aspect, but, that's okay. Sometimes that stuff kind of happens. All right, so moving on to the second floor, starting with the stairs. Again, the stairs are very narrow, being that they are only 3 studs tall, or 3 studs wide. So that I fully understand that there are, space constraints, but nevertheless, I wish that they were bigger. They could have easily just, since this is mainly wasted space anyway, they could have actually easily just popped this out, a few more studs just to give it a little bit more room. So again, I feel like that is a little bit of a misstep, but all in all, great stairwell. Coming over to the first room, and I say that because in the building and in the pictures, I actually thought that this might have been like a 2-bedroom suite or something along those lines, but this is actually a separate room to this room altogether. So this hotel actually does have 3 rooms. So we have a suite here, or a hotel room here, a hotel room here, and then a hotel room on the top floor. So coming around to the smallest of the two, this is a great area. It has, you can see, a nice little bed. Great technique. They have a little nightstand here, and then they have a dresser or cabinet set up, and a desk. Coming around to this side, they do have a nice little printed tile. We've seen that printed tile several times throughout the modulars, let alone anything else, so that's nothing new, but I think that is a throwback to combining the other modulars. So coming around to this side, I'm going to pull this out because I love this build and how they did it. It looks really cool and just very simple. It is basically a hanging closet or armoire. It has a nice hanger in the back to hang clothes. I wish they would have put some kind of hanging clothes. I think that would have been cool, but that's just me. Coming over here, they have a nice little typewriter and desk. Typewriter, of course, was used in the police station. Then coming around here to the a nice little bed with a nightstand on the side. Great use of color, great techniques. I really like what they did here. And then, of course, right in the cove, you have a nice little pivoting chair. So I really love the fact that they did that. Some of the drawbacks to this floor is, as you can see, there is no, and I repeat, no bathroom on the second floor whatsoever. So personally, if I go to a hotel room and then there's no bathroom, I don't know, I wouldn't stay there. That's just me. I'm not big into community bathrooms or anything like that, but as you can see, there is no bathroom whatsoever on this floor. I think, again, that is a little bit of a misstep. I think they could have rearranged this setup a little bit and had, just even a small bathroom. I think that would have worked rather nicely. They could have maybe popped this over one stud or two and then had the bed right there in the cove and then fixed this to a bathroom of some kind. But nevertheless, it is a great floor, great build, and I'm really happy that with what they did overall. Last but certainly not least, looking at the Penthouse Suite, you have the stairwell coming into here. It comes right in to the living area. You can clearly see that there's a king-size bed with some chocolates. I do like the fact that they use these pieces for lampshades. I think that is a great technique. This armoire over here, I'm going to actually pull this out as well. Again, I love the technique that they used, where they used these pieces for the drawers. I really love the fact that they did that. It looks amazing. And then you pop this open, and Bob's your uncle. You can put this up. I wish they would have did a hanger of some kind in there for the armoire, but nevertheless, what they did with it was amazing. You have a nice little couch here, which I feel is a little out of place, just because if they're sitting here trying to watch TV, the TV is actually over here. So, I feel like this should be moved over and this should be here instead, but that's just my point of preference. Coming around here, looks like they got a nice little cocktail at the downstairs area, which is awesome. Then coming over to this section here, I'm going to pull this out so that you can see it. It is a TV stand, which is cool. They added a nice little lampshade right here, which I love the technique of using this piece as lampshade. And then, last but certainly not least, they have the bathroom. Now, bathroom has a full tub, toilet, sink, and a printed mirror piece, which I am super excited about. So I really love what they did with the bathroom. It actually looks spot on and awesome. Just awesome. All right, guys, so there you have it. This amazing set number 10297, 3066 pieces. I am super excited. So, as I mentioned before, I have multiple of these. I actually have 4 of them. I am going to be picking up the other 2 from the post office right now. And I am super excited because once I get those, I can start mocking this out to be a bigger and better build. So, stay tuned for that. Super excited. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on 36 Bricks. Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank all of my Patreon supporters. It really means a lot that you've taken the time, energy, effort to support my channel, the videos that I create, and the live streams. It really does mean a lot. If you're not a member, please go to patreon.com/36bricks. That's patreon.com/36brix. Check out my memberships. And if you like what you see, please sign up. If not, click the donate button on... Ooh, this one's cool. Check this one out. I agree, that one's cool, but this one's awesome. Ooh, I like this one. I just can't stop watching. Well, I like them all, and I'm going to subscribe. Can you do the same? Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on 36 Bricks.